Welcome to the Launch You Front podcast, sponsored by Irv Lee Productions. And as always, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe so you can be notified of future content. All right, today we're going to talk about what a coward is. We're going to find out if you are a coward, and if you are, what you can do to no longer be a coward. Now, so that nobody thinks I'm talking from my own personal opinion, though I am opinionated, it says here, according to AI, a coward is a person who lacks courage, excessively fears danger, pain, or difficulty, and often failing to act rightly due to this fear. My God. According to Merriam-Webster, a coward is one who shows disgraceful fear or timidity. So essentially, what we're going to deal with today are those of you who are not living out your fullest life, or those of you who are not making the best decisions because you're a coward, right? You are so concerned about avoiding things that you're not thinking about what you're going to gain had you make different decisions. Yeah, it's hard out here, man. I'm going to hear the wife go crazy, man. I can't do that. Man, it's crazy, man. I got this job. I can't do that. They're going to fire me. Man, what you talking about? They out here killing black men. I can't stand up to the police, man. What you talking about, bro? I'm just trying to make it home. Yeah, all that is coward language, right? All of that lets me know that your fear overrides your success. You would rather live a long life afraid than live a short life successful. Think about it. I want you to really think about this, because I believe in living a long life. Trust me, I plan to live to about 200 years old. After about 2 centuries, Christ don't come back, I think I could, just call it a wrap. I done did everything I could do in 200 years. So I do believe in living a long life, but what's more important to me is living a quality life, a life worth living. And let's be honest. If you know what you're supposed to do and you have the resources to do it and you're not doing it, you're a coward. One of the things that I always say is, if you don't have anything to die for, then you don't have anything to live for. There has to be something in your life worth dying for. Something in your life that says, I will defend and protect this even if it costs me my life. And for some of us, for those of us that are at least decent, right? Because you have scum, right? Then you got decent, then you got high value, all right? Scum, decent, high value. I really have a 4-quadrant system for men. I'll do a whole other video on that, the 4 different types of men, and it's trademarked, okay? Right? I'm going to do a whole video on that because I think that might help y'all understand a little bit of my thought process. But for this conversation, we're going to talk about the scum, the decent, and then the high value. See, the scum is that's the survival mentality. That's I just want to make it through the day for however many days I have. The scum wants to live life with the least resistance possible, all right? Scums don't live high quality lives because the best things in life is in the other side of resistance. The best things in life are on the other side of difficulty, right? When you get past how hard it is, there is another side that is worth living. The scum never experiences that. Too many excuses, too many reasons to not go through that hardship. Hey, if that's you, don't get mad at me. Yes, I called you a scum, but it's descriptive, all right? You're a scum. The decent person will at least say things like, yeah, I'll die for my family. You know, if we outside with my wife and something pop off, yeah, I'm gonna do me. The decent person will say, yeah, I'll die for my kids. If something pop off with my kids, I'm gonna rush in. No matter what they got, they got a bazooka. I'm gonna pull up like, right? Yeah, the decent person will say that, but most of the decent people that will say that are liars. Why? Why do I say that they're liars? Because they would rather take a bullet than kill their pride. They listen. You want to convince me or yourself that you'll take a bullet for your kids, right? But you won't humble yourself for your kids. You won't apologize. You won't work with the baby mother so that you can actually be a family, right? Because you're a decent person, you feel like because you're right is not worth dying for. Right? I want you to, because none of us live perfect lives. I don't live a perfect life. I mean, my life is pretty damn good, but I don't live a perfect life. There'll be times where I have to make very uncomfortable decisions in order to have the quality of life that I desire. Some of you, you're such a coward that you can't even say no to your kids. They ask you for something, it's a yes because you can't take them crying. And so you will disrupt their development so they can be happy for a moment, but entitled for a lifetime? You're a coward. And once again, I don't mean that derogatory. I'm not saying it like that makes you a bad person. I'm saying the difficulty, the pain to say no to the people that you love is causing you to live a life that is less than great. And according to the definition, that makes you a coward. It's not like you can't say no. You won't say no because it hurts too much. You won't say no because it's too uncomfortable. Your girl is asking you for things that are so irrational, and you have to say yes. You end up giving in, and then you get mad at her when she keeps asking. But you're the one being the coward. I don't believe you're going to take that bullet for real. Because you would take that bullet, then why don't you just kill that pride? Or why don't you, let me go back to the killing of the pride. Some of you, like I said, because you're right, you feel like you have the right to speak to people any old way, to handle people any old way. And you don't realize that that's your pride telling you because you're right, whatever they feel doesn't matter. When the truth of the matter is, you don't know how to handle what they're going through. So there's two types of cowards here, right? There's the coward that is prideful, afraid of what would happen if they submit or if they reject their ego, right? There's that coward. And then there's the coward who's a people pleaser, where they feel good making everybody else happy, when in reality, they don't really feel good. They're just avoiding the pain of disappointing anybody. You're just as much of a coward. And what I've realized is when cowards are given privileges, it leads to chaos. When cowards are giving privileges, it leads to disorder. Cowards are not fit to defend or protect that which is valuable. Because the moment it gets too hard, they're going to run. And though I'm talking to men, because I'm really not talking to them, I'm talking to everybody, I just want to make it clear so that no one thinks that I'm caping. Women can be cowards too. I'm going to say something that might get me canceled, but I'm going to say it anyway. Bro, is it okay if I say it? All right, I'm going to say it anyway. The fact that 80% of women are the first ones to initiate divorce suggests to me that at least half of them are cowards. The marriage got too tough. It wasn't as satisfying, whatever it was. And they tucked tail. They ran. They said, I got to get out of here. And then they massage their cowardice by saying things like, I know my worth. I know my value. I deserve the best things in life. And you would have had the best things in life if you put in some work instead of being a coward and running from the marriage. The other half, they might have had legitimate reasons. But I know at least half of them are cowards because that man wanted the marriage. That man wanted to love you. That man wanted to be there for you. You ran. He did something, he slipped up, and he hurt your feelings, and you told yourself, I'll never feel this pain again. Yeah, cowards are running from pain. And I'm not trying to bring you down. I want you to understand that there are more cowards than people think. Most people in society are cowards because they're not willing to die for anything. Therefore, they're not willing to live for anything. When you're ready, so I remember when I was doing activist work in Decatur, and things started popping off. If you know anything about how the police roll in Decatur, you already understand. Remember, I was talking to my mom, and my mom was like, "Man, baby, you're doing a lot. You got a wife, you got 5 kids. You got to be careful. Aren't you concerned if something happens to you? Doesn't that come across your mind?" And I'm like, Mom, I love you, and you're absolutely right. I got a wife. I got 5 kids. And for me, that's more reason to fight for what's right. Because what kind of world do I want my wife and my 5 kids to live in? And if I die trying to fight for a better world, then it was worth dying. And some of you, you're not understanding this. You don't, or maybe no one ever taught you or told you that the best things in life are worth dying for. It's worth putting your life on the line, even if it's not physically. I'm going to tell y'all the God honest truth. When it comes to this speaking thing, I'm a beast. And this ain't arrogance talking. I'm saying I am effective behind the mic. If you've ever watched me on stage, I do what I do. And I could be so much further if I grind and push hard. You know why I don't do that? Because I want to be present for the time when my kids are young. They're not going to be children forever. So I'm still going to put in work. I'm still going to make contacts. I'm still going to make content, right? I'm going to network. I'm going to do everything, but I cannot compromise the birthdays of my children. I cannot compromise the dance recitals and the plays and the performances, right? I cannot, because this is precious time that I can never get back. So I intentionally slow walk my exposure because watch this, y'all need to hear this. My success as a speaker is not more important than my success as a parent or a spouse. So if my speaker success has to die so that my success as a parent and a spouse can thrive, then I'll let it die. And some of you don't understand that, yeah, you had an idea of what life should be like. But if you say you love your family, then you would allow certain things to die so that your family can thrive. Now you're not being a coward. Now, there's those of us, I told you the scum runs from all that pain. I didn't even spend too much time talking about that because all y'all scum, there's nothing I can even tell you. If you're a scumbag watching this, you would have already turned the video off by this point, right? So you're not even going to get the game for real. But the decent person, I want to help you get to that next level. That's that greatness. That's that life is worth living. And so this is how it really works. Oh, we talking to some cowards, right? Most of the time, that fear that you have is an illusion. It's not real. Okay. You have fear, and then you have danger. Okay? You have fear, and then you have danger. All right. Danger is that dog is snarling and barking and showing his teeth, is running towards me. That's danger. Real danger. So you have to protect yourself. The threat is real, my G. Like it's not no theory, right? The threat is real, right? Fear is the dog behind the fence barking at you. And now your brain says, if that dog gets out, it's going to bite me. How's the dog going to get out? There's nothing that indicates that this dog is going to escape from behind the fence. But your fear produces a feeling of danger that's not really there. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about all of the times that you were about to do something. You were convicted, you were persuaded, you said, I gotta do this. And your mind went to all the ways that it could go wrong. And the thought of all the wrong things happening was enough for you to say, man, I ain't about to do that, man. I ain't about to do that. That is the coward. Because none of that stuff actually happened. All of it was made up. No one ever told you this, but all of this was made up. And I know somebody's already saying, no, it wasn't made up because I went through that before. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I went through that before. The easiest way to limit yourself is to assume that the past is a prediction of the future. I want to help somebody here because you're looking at the past and you're saying, okay, I've been through this, that, and the third. So I'm not going to do that in the future or in the present, really, because I don't want to experience that in the future. There's some wisdom there. I ain't going to lie to you. Y'all know me. I want to be honest with you. There's some wisdom there. So let's say you gave your heart to a young lady and she cheated on you. She dogged you out, bro. You was head over heels in love. You like, oh, shorty could never. And then she did, right? Now your heart's broken. Oh, my God, right? I can't believe she did this to me. I was such a good man, right? And now you tell yourself, I'm never going to give my heart to a woman like that again. That's coward behavior. That's coward behavior. Because that was one woman who did that to you. It wasn't all women who did. That was one woman. See, if you want to get to that greatness and you want to use the past as some type of lesson, then a better response is, okay, what type of woman was she in the first place? How much did I give her? How quickly did I give her the things I gave her? Right? You're evaluating the conditions that produce the outcome versus being lazy in your reflection and just saying, oh, that's women. I ain't never get. So now you're dogging out all these other women when one of them would have actually loved you properly. One of them was the wife that you was looking for. But because you're a coward, you refused to give her your heart and you treated her like she was the girl that left you. You're only limiting yourself. It could be the same thing with a job, or I ain't never working a job again because my last job, You're a coward. I'm telling you, you're a coward because you're not making decisions for your greater good. You're making decisions to avoid your greatest pain. And that's how cowards think. Cowards think in avoidance, while greatness thinks in acceptance and acquisition. We're going to get it. Like I'm telling you, when you get to a certain level of greatness, all you're thinking about is how I'm going to get it. And that includes, learning how to move so that you don't get into any unnecessary pain. But I got to wake you up. Some things in life, the best things in life, is going to require you to go through some pain. What type of pain? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the pain of losing sleep. I'm talking about the pain of people disappointing you. I'm talking about the pain of being rejected. I'm talking about the pain of plans not working accordingly. I'm talking about the pain of embarrassment. You have to go through that pain to get the best things in life. And for many of you, you're not experiencing the best things in life because you're a coward. But you don't have to stay a coward. Today, you can make a decision that says, you know what? I'm going to stop avoiding and I'm going to start going towards the path of what I actually want. I'm going to stop going through life afraid of what might happen and start going through life seeing what will happen. I need you to get this, because a lot of the things you think is gonna happen will never happen. You think you're so popular. Listen, my channel ain't even that big, and I see people in my comments trying to get at me. They got all these type of jokes. I'm so grateful. Look, I'm so excited because I'm like, yo, I'm reaching strangers who are taking time out of their day to hate on me. Oh, I'm killing the game, dog. I feel like I made it. I'm not afraid of that. These are internet people. Come on, dog. I don't know these people. My man's name is like, user 2457839. They hear nobody. You think I'm concerned about whatever opinion or jokes he has? It's a nobody. What's the danger in people hating on me? What's the danger in people disagreeing with me? Like, there's no danger there. Do I like it? No, honestly, I don't care. Like, I don't have any emotional response to it. I don't care because there's no real threat there. And for some of you, you are producing a threat that doesn't exist. That's what's making you a coward. I'm not saying if you know you're going to do this, it's going to cost you your family. First off, you'll never know that if you don't have a conversation. Did you even talk to your family about it? And let's be clear, if you didn't watch my videos about vision casting, now's a good time to do it. Because 9 out of 10, it's not like they don't support you, they just don't see the vision. You didn't do the best of jobs of casting the vision, showing them how it benefits them, showing them what it looks like. I'm not going to go through that now. Did a whole video on that, so go watch that. Go look for that. Something about vision casting. Don't remember the title right now, right? But something about vision casting. Go look that up. Right? A lot of the times, your fear is really a revelation of your weaknesses. And I love that because I believe in maximizing your strengths and managing your weaknesses. But if your weaknesses are so weak that it's actually getting in the way, if you know that, then you can do the work of strengthening that area in your life. Do you not know that you can be whoever or whatever you want to be? You have the power to change your life. That is a God-given right. And just because you was like that yesterday or last week or for the last 10 years doesn't mean you have to continue being like that. You can make the choice to change. But you'll never make that choice if you're a coward. You'll never make that choice if you're avoiding the pain and the disappointment and the difficulty of a task. That thought process of how hard it is, that's what makes you a coward. We all have fears. Okay, let me try to be a little more empathetic, right? We all have fears. The difference between a coward and greatness is that greatness will move forward even with the fear. Greatness will say, I recognize that this is something that I'm afraid of, but because there's no guarantee that this will happen, I have to take the shot. I got to take the chance because if I win, oh, what I gain in winning is far greater than what I would lose in failing. And maybe for some of you, what you're chasing just isn't big enough. I get it. It may not be worth it to you. Maybe having that family isn't worth it to you. Maybe having that business isn't worth it to you. Maybe writing that book isn't worth it to you. Maybe impacting your community a certain way is not worth it to you. You have the right to say it ain't even worth all that, dog. You have every right to say that. But if you say that, don't tell me you didn't do it because my wife wouldn't understand or my community would never accept it. Because if you ain't try, I'm going to look at you like you a coward. I may never say it to your face, but I'm going to look at you like you're a coward. And honestly, you should look at yourself like you're a coward. Oh, I can't go back to school because I'm not good at school. Oh, you're a coward. Oh, I can't start that business because, 50% of businesses fail. 90% of businesses fail in 2 years. Oh, you're a coward. So instead of learning how to build a successful business, you just won't try at all. I get, I ain't even trying to lose all that weight because dieting and exercising is hard. I don't have the time and the temptation is too strong. My wife likes eating cookies. Oh, you're a coward. That's all I hear. All I hear is I'm a coward. And you can disagree with me on this point, but I want you to really think about what I'm saying. Instead of being insulted, be inspired. Really think about what I'm saying. If you're not a coward, prove it. Start that business. Prove it. Work on that family. Prove it. Start writing that book. Prove it. Start a workout routine. Get a diet plan. Prove it to me. Prove to me that you will chase your dream and go through the failures until you get to the other side. Prove it. And if you're not willing to prove it, that's how you know you're a coward. But if you are and you just need some support, that's when you hit me up. That's when you send me a DM, send me an email. That's when you book a session. You say, Lawrence, I'm ready to do this. I am afraid, and I just need some support. Because if you, just that step alone lets me know that you're not a coward. That lets me know that you are greatness in the making. I don't even want to say greatness in the making. I want to say you are potential greatness in the process of being kinetic. You are the seed of greatness in the process of maturing into great fruit. Like you are demonstrating that something in you is awakening and you're ready to release that greatness. Just those steps alone will prove to yourself that you're not a coward. And that's more important than anything else. I'm not asking you to run towards danger. I'm saying don't allow your fear, which is an illusion, to stop you from going through some difficult tasks that lead to such great reward. Because how many times do you need your life to change? Well, you need your life to change one time, for the better, I'm saying. You only need your life to change one time. And if you steward that thing, not smooth sailing, but boy, is it better than this. I'm telling you, if you're willing to put in that work, yeah, it may not be smooth sailing, but your life will be better than this. So let me say it this way, now that we're at the end. You're not really a coward, so stop acting like one. Your presence matters. And if nobody else tells you, I love you. Peace.